Did you know this, that loans, it is one of the greatest tools that the smart people in the world of the finances use to create wealth? Let me say it in a slow way. Loans are very great tools that you can use to create wealth only if you are smart on knowing how to use it. I have to tell you that. Don't think that everyone is taking a loan, so you should take it and go utilize it. No, first of all, before I even tell you to subscribe, by the way, you should be considering to subscribe to this video or this YouTube channel, okay? Go ahead and hit the subscription button, yeah. I'm waiting you to do that and make sure that you like. By the way, come on, don't ignore. It does not cost you anything. Just hit that like. You see that thing looks like this. Just hit it. Does not post the video, does not do nothing. Just hit. Thank you. Now, you see, before you even think of taking a loan to invest or do a business or do whatever you want to do, you have to understand this thing. And this is the rule that you should know it from today. If you are not good with your money, if you're not good with your money, allow me just to write it in full, with your money, please don't take someone else. Don't take someone's else. What do I mean? If you are very poor at organizing your finances, if you are very poor at managing your own money, please, kindly, the moment you see the door for taking loans, never ever enter into that door. Never. If you're not good at managing your own money, please don't take someone else's money. Because simply when you take a loan is to take someone's money to use it at your own benefit, okay? And then you can be able to return it. So if you're not good at it with your own, if you have never started anything with your own money, if you have never raised anything by your own self and you start anything by your own money, please, loan is not that, it's not that route that you can actually pick or use to go and reach your destination. First of all, we really need to speak the language of financial management first before we go taking the loans way. You know, one of the biggest mistakes that actually people do is this. You take yourself a loan. Let's say, let's be practical. You go take yourself a 400,000. Are we together? You take a loan of 400,000. This loan, let's say you have a dream of starting, let's say, a pharmacy business. Because in Kenya, this one will actually start you a pharmacy business. Or maybe let's say you want to start yourself, say, a shop. All right? Or let's say a general grocery store. In Kenya, they call it just a shop. Okay? Let's say you want to start yourself a shop. Are we together? Now, what you do, or maybe you want to start yourself, say, a milk business or milk bar, where you're selling people milk, snacks, whatever. Let's call it a milk bar. That's what we call it in Kenya. Now, the problem that people do, probably you yourself, you have zero cash, of which sometimes it happens anyway. Okay, we cannot crucify you for that. You take this 400,000, you get yourself a very premium place. Maybe the place is asking you maybe to set aside, maybe let's say a shop is going for a premium place in Kenya will probably ask you for something like 30,000 per month, 30,000 per month. They're asking you for 3 months. Then, boom, 90,000 is gone out of the 400 that you took. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Then, this is your rent. And then, the next thing you do is this, maybe because you want to paint the place, make it look nice, have those, banners, advertisement, you find like another, like say, maybe like 30% or whatever the amount of money goes for out of this. You find like maybe probably you have used something like 70K. 70K has gone for the painting and what have you. Maybe you've used another maybe like 10 or 15 or 20. Maybe let's say roughly you have used yourself like another, let's say 75,000 has actually gone for branding and everything, making counter shelving and what have you. So you say now, probably the rent is okay, we can negotiate with it. But now, let's say probably 75,000 or sometimes even 80. Some people can even use 100K has actually gone for the branding. Remember, in any business, we have two things. We have the strategic things and non-strategic things. I want you to get that. We have two things. We have the strategic things. One, strategic things. This is what we are selling. If you want to start a milk business, you'll be selling milk. This is the most strategic thing that you're selling. Whether you sell it under the roof, you sell it under the cave, you sell it from the whatever the place, this is the strategic thing that you're selling. And the other thing is non-strategic things. Non-strategic things. Are we together? This is like counter. You will never sell that counter. Shelving. You'll never sell that shelving. Maybe measuring cylinders and what have you. That freezer, that fridge. Those are non-strategic things. But anyway, they help you to sell the strategic things. So you find someone is taking a loan of 400,000 and you're taking like 250,000 towards acquisition of the non-strategic things. And then in case a BS happens, because this is business, we don't know. You don't even have some cash under the, what do you call the emergency fund for the purposes of a business. In case something happens, you can cushion it. You get the 250, boom, you throw it in non-strategic things. Things you cannot even sell and liquidate. Probably you may argue from the point of freezer you can sell. I agree. That is more of an important thing to have. But let's say painting, you've painted. You have yourself very nice lighting. You've actually put yourself a very nice gypsum, you know, some branding and what have you. Those are things that you'll never sell them. Rent, you'll never sell that rent. Or maybe probably you can sell somebody who can actually occupy the shop in case a BS happens from that business. But anyway, the point is, when you want to use the loan, please, loan should be directed towards something that is generating active income. Let me put it that way. A loan, whenever you take a loan or a debt, depends with your English. We use the, I'm not going to say that. Now, whenever you take a loan or a debt, are we together? We actually channel towards something that is actually giving you cash flow. Is giving you cash flow. You find somebody, you are employed, you are earning 70,000 a month, 70K a month. And then, because you grew up with this mentality that land is an amazing thing, you should get in, of which it is anyway, I love lands anyway. And then there you go, you grab yourself a plot worth 1.5 million. You didn't have the money, but because you have a security of 70,000 and they told you if you can actually deduct 25K out of your money and then you remain with whatever you remain with, I don't know, 45K and what have you, and according to your own mathematics, you can survive on this. And because you want that piece of land 50 by 100, you go and borrow the 1.5 million, and this land is idle. It's not generating any income. You're actually looking at it from the point of, hey, it's appreciating in price. Land in Kenya appreciates at a rate of 7% per annum. Money market fund is giving. I'm not telling you should take a loan and throw it in a money market fund. We actually debunked that myth anyway. Now, the point is, loan should actually be taken. If somebody is not giving you a loan, let's say 7, 8, 10 million to go grab that piece of land and do some rentals and so that you can generate some income, so that you pay their money back with that money that you got from a loan, that may be a little bit tougher. Are we together? So if you want to use loan as a pro to actually create wealth out of it, it is very, very complicated and simple. At the same time, depends on who you are. First of all, identify that venture you want to take your money into. You see, you don't take a loan to speculate. Let me put that on the board. On the board. You don't take a loan to speculate. Okay? You don't take a loan and then what you're doing is speculation. Are we together? We don't do that. That is wrong. We take a loan, well, I don't want to use the term sure, because for those who are in business and for those who are in investment, there is nothing like sure bet. Are we together? When it comes to investment, it comes its own with its own what? You know, some things that we have to overlook them for us to do what? To survive. We really don't do speculations. You must have done the speculation by yourself even before committing people's money. You have identified, okay, I've actually noticed that if I can take a loan and do poultry farming, if I can get myself like say 500 birds, and let's say the survival rate of those birds, let's say it's at 90%, and I only have 900 or even have 700. If I have the 700 birds, the 300 of them dies. The 300 birds, let's say they are laying at a rate of say 90%. Let's say 600 of them are actually laying each and every day. I divide that by the number of the trays and crates or whatever you guys call them. Then I'm selling that tray say at 390 shilling per tray, and I'm getting myself let's say 50 trays. I'm gonna be getting an X amount of money. X amount of money. The chicken or my barns will be actually maybe let's say I'm making and I'm using this as an example. I'm not saying you go take a loan and start a poultry farming. I'm using it as an example. Let's say I'm getting 390 out of that tray that I'm selling. And then I decide whatever my birds are eating, paying somebody and all the operational cost, we can actually half this amount of money into two. I take my 180, is it 195? I take my 195 and then my birds take 195. So we have actually half this amount of money, 50-50. All this goes for food, feeds, water, taking care, electricity, and what have you. And then the other half goes into my pocket. And then this what is going into my pocket, which is 195. The loan is actually asking me to pay, say, 50,000 per month. And this 50,000, it means, let's say, it is 95 out of this 195. So every tray that I'm selling, 95 is going to the 50,000 that I'm supposed to raise each and every month for me to pay back that loan that I want. Then I'm left with a clean 100. Are we together? So the moment you realize you are in business and you're making something, then that is a healthy business to get into. But remember one thing, this appears so good on paper, but when you get into the ground, you tend to realize that things are actually turning out to be south. Sometimes you can get into a business, you realize, yes, you can be able to feed your birds, yes, you can be able to pay back that loan, but you are left with nothing. You're making nothing. It's like an NGO, nothing going on. Are we together? So you find that then you ask yourself, why is my business not even giving me in my pocket? Because we have three layers, or we have three categories in a business. You find a business can be actually in a green zone where everything is actually functioning well, you're making profit, business can pay itself, and then you can be able even to pay your workers and everything. Then we have the yellow zone. Yellow zone is when like nothing is going on. You find the business neither making you the profit, neither is that asking you money from the pocket to run its own cost. It's running its own operational cost, but it's not even paying you in the first place, or it's not even leaving you in a profit with a profit. Although the issue of a profit is a bit complicated one, yeah. And then we have the red zone. This is outlight, where the business is not even making any profit. The business is not even giving you anything. It cannot even run by itself and what have you. So you really need to understand, just in case something happens in business, this is how I'm going to rebound with this. And this is why when they are giving you the loan, they ask you for collateral. They ask you for collateral just in case that prospection that you want to start goes south, they can actually liquidate that. Also, you yourself, you should also have your own way of safeguarding yourself. Just in case something happens, you can be able to move to the next level. I'll give you a very simple example of a close friend of mine, what he did. He had an option of going to the up country and buying a 1 acre of land at 1.5 million Kenyan shilling. That's like 15,000 USD. Or the guy decided, and of course, well, I'm proud to say I guided the guy. And the guy was like, Joseph, do you think it's the best idea to do that? Then I asked the guy, okay, what do you want? Do you want to build the up country? No, he said, no. I told the guy, do this, yeah? You can take the 1.5 million, go buy a very premium piece of land somewhere in a city or something. Of course, not really in the middle of a city. It's kind of a little bit outlight, outskirt of the city. Get yourself a parcel of land worth, say, 1.5 million. Then that parcel of land, of course, you'll get yourself a certificate, or what you call the deed, or the title deed here in Kenya. Get that title deed of the parcel of land that is a premium one. Go with it to your bank. Tell them you want to take a loan out of your money. The guy was given 1 million. Remember, the parcel of land is 1.5. The guy was given 1 million. Then I told the guy, now go to that up country because you wanted to do the farming. Go lease a land. Go do your farm. Don't buy. Go lease a land. He leased 5 acres of land and he got themselves into the farming. He is paying back the loan. The parcel of land is there. So if he manages to pay back the loan, he's going to be left with the parcel of land and a business running, and probably you're going to be able to buy the parcel of land that you wanted to buy from the up country. You see, now that's the wisdom of using how to play with the debt for you to survive. Most of these great structure that you see raising out there, people are using the loans. But you have to use the loan when you have the correct financial guidance and financial understanding, as well as the knowledge for you to achieve that. It's not a thing that you can just jump into, get the loan because people are doing it, and you're so much in discipline. You are an impulse buyer. You are actually a spender, and all those kind of. You are a hoarder. You fear investing. You don't invest. See, you cannot really speak the language of a loan, because loan, you need to be liquid. You need to be liquid. You need money coming in. And that's why you don't take a loan to buy an asset that is not generating an income, and then you're relying with your own sweat. You're relying with your own sweat, time, skills, and energy to pay that loan, and the money is sleeping somewhere. We really don't do that. We actually take that money, put it, by the way, for me, I love using what we call self-guaranteed, where I take my money, I can fix it somewhere, say in a bank, and then I fix it, then I borrow against that money. You know what happens now? I take that money, I go do the business that I want, and then that money that I left there is actually earning me interest. Of course, I've not missed out the interest, because somebody would be like, okay, why would you, Joseph, you have, say, $1 million in a bank and then borrow 400,000? So you can just take your money and go. No, we don't do that. That's not being smart. You have $1 million in a bank, take 400 out of your money. So you still have the $1 million in a fixed account. So the $1 million is giving you whatever the interest that they're giving you. You're still earning that. And then the 400 go do the business. The business is actually earning you that. If you did your math correctly and all goes well, you're going to be able to pay back the loan. And of course, you're actually having a peaceful moment, because in case something happens, you have somewhere where you can do what? You can be able to repay that back. So if you manage to pay back the 400, you're going to still have your $1 million in a bank, and you have the business running. And of course, whatever you're getting from the bank, you can actually use it, a little bit of it or all of it, to help you pay back the loan. I hope, guys, I did something on that video. Anyway, it is what it is. Now, well, that is the basic principle that you're supposed to use when you want to use loans to create wealth. And again, countries differ. For example, if you go to the US, I usually, there's some people whom I usually talk to or talk with, and they tell me it's about one country that if you can leverage on debt, you can actually create a crazy wealth. You can actually get yourself into real estate using debts. With as little as, I don't know, 30,000 USD or 50,000, you can get yourself a property. If you get that property, you subdivide it, you lease it to people, and then after some time it increases. You borrow against that what has increased, you buy another property, and something that probably may not be mirrored here in Kenya, or maybe probably in your country, but just look for the systems, what you guys have in place, if they are favorable to actually use debt. For example, in Kenya right now, we're actually borrowing at a rate of, depends with your bank, at 16, 17, 18, some even 19%. But recently the CBK, that's our Federal Reserve, revised the interest rate. We are actually looking at it going a little bit to affordable rates of, say, 13, or which are still consider them high. If you go to those developed countries, it's actually way below that. Anyway, guys, that is it. Anyway, hope I made sense out of this particular video. So, well, if I did, don't forget to leave me a comment on the comment section asking me a question. Guys, let's deal with practical questions. If you have a question that you'd like me to address, put it on the comment section. I do the research that is necessary. I'm not claiming that I'm perfect, but I try the best as I can. And of course, when I post that video, it is open to more people. They put their contribution. Some are actually involved with it directly. Others have experience about it, so you can benefit not only from my video, but from our fellow brothers and sisters who are watching on this particular channel. So that's why you should subscribe to this YouTube channel, so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. That's good Joseph speaking. And in case you would like to have a conversation with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video. Grab it, give me a call, let's talk business. Nice to goodbye and see you in the next one.